Welcome back to Team Talks. It's the standout game of the weekend. Chelsea aiming to carry their Champions League momentum into the league, while Liverpool arrive desperate to end their two-game losing streak. What a game we have in store, especially when you consider, Owen, that Liverpool are in uncharted territory so far this season. Back-to-back defeats, and now they have to bounce back.
Yeah, and to be fair, they were coming. You know, I think in every game they won late, and not even late, like past Fergie late. Late. So then the Szoboszlai one against us, I think that was in the 82nd minute. The rest of them were like 90 plus with incredible winners. So defensively, the balance isn't there, the shape isn't there. Obviously, they're trying to integrate all these players, Isak and Bertz, who are amazing players. But I just think the balance isn't there, and they're not the same defensively. So I think Arne will go back to tried and tested from last season. That midfielder of Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and go back to being defensively solid. Obviously, Konata's made a couple of mistakes lately after such a brilliant season last season. So, but Chelsea are, you know, they're not at their absolute best. I was at the Bridge on Tuesday. They didn't play brilliant against Jose Mourinho's Benfica. So this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, well, since we have an official Defenders Union rep here with us on the couch, let's get Charlie's thoughts on Liverpool's defence. And as we look at some of the goals that they've conceded so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, I say a little bit stop-start with Liverpool this season. And say Konate's had a couple of moments. There's some great finish from Semenyo. That I think Konate's probably the one that everyone's looked at. And their fullbacks have changed as well, which I think has been a big thing. Kirkhead's coming in from Bournemouth. Frimpong coming in from Leverkusen, I think it is, and they haven't really settled, I think, this season. And I think it will take time, as much as you want things to click straight away. I think it will take time, but once it does, you know, they are going to be a threat. And listen, the firepower that they have is a match for anyone. That's why they won the league last season.
Yeah, toughest period for Arne Slot right now. You mentioned Florian Wirtz. I think he's come under a lot of fire recently, as you mentioned, upsetting the balance. If you're Slot, do you drop him?
I don't think he'll play, just because he's a fantastic player and he's going to come good. Don't worry about that. But I just think right now they've got to get back to being defensively strong. You look at some of those goals they've conceded. You know, the balance in midfield's not there. And when you try and integrate new players, especially ball players like Bertz, it takes a bit of adjustment. So. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Alisson, they would have conceded 6 against Palace. I mean, they were so outplayed in the first half. It was actually unbelievable. So I think he'll go back to tried and tested from last season, where they were brilliant defensively. Yeah. And then he'll end up playing. He integrate Bertz and integrate Isak. But you know, you think about Ekitike, who's a fabulous player. And Charlie made a good point about the 2 new fullbacks. So there's a lot of change there, and I think it's maybe a little bit too much even for the champions.
Yeah, you mentioned Alisson now. He's out as well with that injury.
Yeah, but to be fair, they have probably the best reserve keeper in Mamardashvili, who's absolutely immense. So that was a steal at that money a couple of years ago from Valencia, and so he'll come in. Obviously Alisson's the best in the league, but I think Mamardashvili won't cause any issues.
Yeah, just mentally for that Liverpool team, obviously the mentality of champions, we know what they did last season, but with all the changes, with, as you mentioned a few times now, the balance of the squad going to Stamford Bridge, where do you think they'll be at? 2 defeats in a week? Yeah,
I think they'll be licking their lips really, and just trying to get back to winning ways, you know, and as like Owen says, I think they're trying to find, and Arne Slot's probably trying to find the right formula to get that win again and get back on track. However that is, but I do agree it's bringing the new people in and embedding them. It might just take a bit more time than what he was expecting.
It is Chelsea going up against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. If you have a look at the tail of the tape there, you could see that Liverpool now, we know that they're at the top of the table, but they have proven that they are not unbeatable. As for Chelsea, they are the world champions, but they also have a couple of cracks in their armor as well. So this could be a very interesting matchup. 2 injuries for Liverpool, a long-term one for Alisson. Hugo Ekitike, we're waiting to see exactly what his fitness is, but it's likely that he could start on the bench. How concerned are you for Liverpool in this game?
I'm not concerned at all. You know,
wow, okay.
There's a reason why Liverpool bought Mamardashvili for this particular situation, and he's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, in my opinion. So I don't have a problem with that. And the fact that Ekitike might not be 100% fit, or even not fit at all, guess what? You're bringing Alexander Isak in, and that's a problem. I don't see it as a problem. The only problem I see for Liverpool is if they can get together on the field in terms of the passing, their movement and connecting passes and not giving the ball away. That's the only thing that I want Liverpool to do at the weekend. Because talent-wise, I think the street's ahead of Chelsea. And so they have to just be in tune with each other. And if Liverpool do that, they got goal scorers all around the field, in my opinion, that Chelsea just don't have. I think you look past João Pedro, I ask, where's the goals coming from? There's no Cole Palmer. Every which way you look at this, I see Liverpool as favourites. But that is, of course, if they get in tune with each other and don't cough the ball up. That's it. Those two things. If Liverpool get it right, then it's a Liverpool victory.
Wow, this is the first time, I think, all season that I've seen Stevie this confident about Liverpool going into a game. And I never thought, Jan, that it would come after Liverpool have lost back-to-back games. Now, should Stevie have a bit more concern over his Reds?
Hello from London. I'm at the game tomorrow at Stamford Bridge, so I look forward to that. I understand what Stevie is saying. If you take 1-1, if Ekitike out, you get another striker in. He's not bad either, Alexander Isak. Alisson Becker, for me, maybe the best goalkeeper in the world. He's out, but Mamardashvili is just in to do that. I mean, they saw over the last two seasons as Alisson Becker, I think, missed 20 games over the two last seasons, so you needed a good number two. So that I understand. What I think what Slot is talking about, Alexander Isak, you have to adjust to your teammates. I think that is the big problem at Liverpool at the moment, not only for Alexander Isak, but for the lot of players. The easiest thing is to see when we see players get injured, that is replaceable. But it's for me to see Liverpool now find a way where they play at each other's strength. It's easy to say Florian Wirtz to any problem that need to be solved at Liverpool. Konate is struggling a bit. Yeah, that's Florian Wirtz's fault. He's a bit behind Frimpong. Yeah, that's Florian Wirtz's fault. So there is a lot of things to sort out for Liverpool at the moment. I see now a team mixed up with the great individual talents. They don't find each other so good on the pitch. So 2 losses in a row, they need a result. They need a good game tomorrow at Stamford Bridge.
Shaka, you also said that you're not too concerned about Alisson's injury.
I'm not concerned from...
Or it's not a deal breaker for Liverpool in this.
From the perspective that Mamardashvili, as I think we all agree, is an outstanding goalkeeper. It's just a difficult time to come in to a team like Liverpool. Given the start they had to the season, now all of a sudden they've lost their last two, and now, and I know Mamardashvili came off the bench in the last game, but now you're making your first start on the back of two successive losses. That's not ideal from a new player perspective coming in, when maybe the defence are looking at each other, asking question marks. You want some consistency there. That being said, you sign a goalkeeper of his quality for exactly this reason, that he can come in and be a seamless replacement to Alisson. I will say, while I agree with everything that Stevie said about this game, I don't share his confidence in that, on paper, arguably so far this season, Liverpool have been better than everybody they played. Their performances have said otherwise. And you saw that coming to head again over the last couple of games. And now this is a big moment for Arne Slot. And maybe the injury to Ekitike kind of forces him to play, well, quite clearly, Isak. And all of a sudden you find that settled starting 11 that maybe he'd been questioning all season long, because while they've been winning, again, they've not been playing great. So that can serve as maybe a little bit of an opportunity for Arne Slot. I agree with Stevie. While we're talking about a Liverpool team that's lost their last two, Chelsea have lost their last two in the league, have injury problems of their own, and truth be told, simply on paper, don't have the firepower that Liverpool has.
Well, as we said, Liverpool have lost the last two, one in the league to Crystal Palace, and then, of course, in the Champions League, where we most saw recently to Galatasaray. Stevie, you did say that, the goals can come from anywhere for Liverpool. We know the firepower that they have, but they did fail to score against Galatasaray. Looking at this 11, what needs to change for this weekend?
Well, I think they need to get Szoboszlai out of there and back in the middle of the park. For me, it should be Bradley at right back. And you know, right now, the way Kerkez is performing, I'd probably put Andy Robertson back in there.
Oh, I love that.
And looking at that, that looks like a team that's more in tune with each other. You know, the guts of that team, if those changes were made, looks a lot similar to what it was last year. And now what you're looking for is the front players to catch fire. So if I'm Slot, I'm making those changes. I go back to the tried and trusted, away from home, at Chelsea, get yourself a solid base and then go from there. And then hopefully you get the ball to the front players and they catch fire. So that to me would be the way I would go about it. However, I'm not Liverpool manager.
No, but you are.
Sadly not.
You are.
Sadly not.
Sadly not. Sadly not. But what about? What would you do? It's a question we've asked you a number of times, but specifically for this match now and what we've seen recently. What do you do with Florian Wirtz? Do you move him to the left? Do you bench him?
If he plays, I think you move him to the left. Personally, right now, I would sit him.
Would you play?
I would leave Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, and Isak right through the pipe. As I said, you know, tried and trusted. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Allegedly, you're assuming you know what you're going to get because this team that I'm talking about knows each other inside out. You know, we're not going to be thinking, well, every second you take to think about what you have to do with the player that's standing next to you, that gives the opposition a chance to get at you and particularly get the ball from you. So that lineup that I was talking about, I think that would be way more settled and would be way better away from home at Chelsea.
Jan, what do you make of Stevie leaving Florian Wirtz on the bench, saying he has no place for him in his 11 if he were Arne Slot?
Well, it's very interesting because Arne Slot needs to find a way to give him the necessary confidence to be in there, because now it's a matter of confidence. Because I think you can say a lot about Florian Wirtz, but I think what is unusual to see him now in a Liverpool shirt is that he's losing the ball so much. I mean, when we saw him playing for Bayer Leverkusen, we're seeing from Germany, he never loses the ball. And that's what he's doing at the moment. I think that is down to he doesn't adjust with the people in and around him. But I don't think that is only, like I said in my first statement, that is not just a whisper problem. That is something about the balance there. And if I may say, Stevie, if you I understand what you're saying. I think Robertson should pay for Kerkez. I think Kerkez is a bit too hot-headed when they are struggling at the moment. So I will put Andy Robertson in there as well. But on the other back, Stevie, is that when Liverpool used to play out from the back, often they went out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, being that role of a quarterback on the right side. I see Liverpool now when they're struggling, when they try to play out from the back, it's not the same. Even when Van Dijk is doing it or Konate doesn't produce that. So I got a feeling that is a thing that is missing, the way that they go out from the back. I mean, when they're coming with power forward, it's fantastic. But sometimes when Liverpool is playing at the moment, it's like a boxing fight, two heavyweights just get out in the ring and just have a beat at each other. And at the end, last one standing is the winner. And that's what I feel. Maybe that's not, Liverpool need to find a balance there.
Yeah, the thing about Van Dijk for me is he has absolutely been affected, because for me Van Dijk now is trying to take care of everybody. You know, you've got two of your back four in Kerkez and Konate who A, are struggling just to do their job defensively, but B, are struggling with the ball at their feet. And so you've got Van Dijk who's been affected by it because you know he's a little unsure whether he should give it to Kerkez. And opposition are leaving Konate with the ball. So that is a real problem. And the one with the Wirtz, the reason I would drop Wirtz is because they've lost the last two games. You know, I said at the start of the season, when there were five games undefeated, you can continue to try and get Wirtz into form by playing them whilst you're winning. But when you start losing, then you have to start looking after the team. You can't be thinking about looking after individuals now. They have to win games. And so if that means, unfortunately, Wirtz has to sit for whatever it takes till Liverpool settle down, get in some rhythm, get back to the Liverpool we know, then you can start trying to reintroduce him. And then it's better for him as well. So
Can I ask you a question, Stevie?
Sure.
If it's that okay. When they put Szoboszlai on the right side, is that a signal that you want to have a player there, as Trent Alexander-Arnold did? A good football player with a good foot, with a good pass? Do you think that is the reason they have put him there so many games?
No, I don't. I actually think And I think it's not something I would ever do. I think he's shoehorning Szoboszlai at right back to try and keep Wirtz on the field. I think that's what he's doing, or that's what he's done.
So that's Wirtz's fault as well.
Well, actually, it's, I hear you, but it's actually not. It's Arne Slot's fault. Again, as the manager, as the coach, whatever you want to call it, your duty is to the whole team. You have to pick a side based on what is the best for everybody. And so when you start to do that and you start to shoehorn people in because you can and you think you can get away with it, I'm sorry, that's not how you do it.
I like Jan's version better.